Hello there and welcome to another video. Today we are going to be setting up CachyOS, aka Arch Linux, for content creation. That means recording on OBS, editing in DaVinci's Resolve Studio, and also making thumbnails or whatever in Affinity V3. I call it Unified Affinity. It's the new one from Canva. And I hope you will appreciate this guide. If you do, subscribe, which helps the most. Like the video, share the video with people who have the same interests as you, and let's jump in and get started. So the first thing I'm going to be doing is setting up Affinity. Now, Affinity is an alternative to Photoshop, and I mean alternative, where it does everything Photoshop does and more. So I'm going to open up the terminal. I'm going to install the dependencies for the installer. Trust me, I've not found a way to make that happen. I could probably wrap it into a separate bash file which installs the dependencies, then executes the Python installer, which I probably will do later. And you basically copy this line right here. You paste it in, you hit enter. That will bring up this. This is the all-in-one one-click installer. So one-click full install, press yes. Enter the gigantic password. By the way, this is it's a Hyprland thing. It will look like this normally on any other desktop environment. I'm on Mango WM though, and these are my dot files. These are Event Horizon. This is not Waybar or anything else like that, by the way. So all of this is just unified. Now, it just finished installing the dependencies, which is Wine, Winetricks, wget, curl, tar, jq, something, and a bunch of other things that are related to other stuff. This is for installing... Oh, what the hell? Well, that's a bug I need to fix. If you're on Nvidia, you can pretty much just use VKD3D with OpenCL support. If you're on AMD, it will automatically just use DXVK for you, which is again still acceleration like OpenCL, so it should still be performant. That's one thing that people tend to get wrong all the time. Just because you can't enable OpenCL, it does not mean you can't accelerate the application. That's the cool part about Linux. Because right now, inside of Wine, OpenCL for AMD is extremely busted, and I don't think I've seen an attempt to fix it yet, and there's nothing I could do to debug it as I do not have an AMD GPU. I need a modern one, believe it or not, so I can cover the 9000 series and older. So yeah, until I get one of those, which will probably be never, AMD users are pretty much stuck with, what do you call it? DXVK for acceleration. Now, I'm warning you, this process takes quite a bit of time because it's got to install Winetricks dependencies. So sit back, enjoy the ride, and if it fails, in other words, if it gets stuck, and I mean really stuck, like you've waited a long while, press this X button and try again. Now, I've designed this thing so that it cannot get stuck on a modern distro, something that is actually designed for real work. We're not talking about Mint and Zorin or Ubuntu. Those are not designed for things like this. This is not designed for content creation. I am talking about actual distros like Fedora, Arch Linux, PicoOS. Even Debian is more up to date than Mint and will probably end up being better. There is Mint support, don't worry, but I can't support it as I don't run Linux Mint, and it's hard to solve the bugs because the bugs are related to outdated dependencies that are almost 5 years old. So if you run into any issues like that, unfortunately, you're probably on your own. And about a Flatpak, about a app image, I tried to build a different type of one where you start the app image, it automatically downloads like a pre-built Wine system. Then it downloads the Affinity installer, installs it, so you always have the newest version. It can check, you can install updated versions, so on and so forth, but that fell apart. So unfortunately, the app image is off the table. I just can't maintain those. They're just annoying, but if anybody wants to contribute to the project to help maintain the app image, feel free. Oh, another thing, if you look up here, you can see what it's installing. Right now, we're on .NET 48. All right, so the next part we need to actually be here for, and you may notice that the UI kind of freezes, and that's due to, well, it's about to do some stuff. All right, so it will ask you, would you like to install Affinity? We're going to hit yes. And then there's the unified version. You can install Affinity Photo, Designer, and Publisher. We're going to go with unified. And we're going to choose automatic download, but you can provide your own executable. This downloads directly from their website. So if you have any worry about that, again, you can check the source code because people get paranoid over nothing. And you need not to do that, okay? It will set Windows 11 automatically because that's what's required. We're going to install. And then once this is done, instantly, by the way, unlike Windows, you will just, it's going to automatically do a DDL override for DirectX 12, so VKD3D. Then it's going to do a patch for settings so they work. And then it's going to install, as you can see, a loader. This loader adds a bunch of other fixes and stuff. So, in other words, eventually you'll be able to sign into Canva. And that's it. It's done. It's installed. And you should just be able to go into here. I'm going to pin this to my dock. I'm going to put that right there. Click it, and it will boot up. But here's the thing. There is a but. At the first boot, WineLoader will not work for some reason, and I don't know why. Even though I had it boot up and it showed that WineLoader was working, it still has some weird issue going on, and I can't figure it out. So what I tend to do is I go to Affinity, I find the Affinity executable, which is right here, and I run this. It's called Affinity Hook. Now I'm going to open this up just like with a Wine application. It's going to automatically do all the hooking. Once it boots up, we're going to close it down. Okay. Just like that. And then we're going to open this up again. And you should hopefully see a change. Okay, I better make sure that it actually shut down. 1 sec. Because sometimes there's a bug where it does not shut down. Okay, trying again. There we go. Right there, APL. You can see that it actually loaded up. Which means, if you're lucky, I don't know if this is actually going to work. We're going to try to log in. This might not be the right version. Yeah, it's not the right version where you can log in. That's a different patch. Damn it, I did not mean to close that. I need to open up my web browser again. So now you're able to basically do Photoshop and everything that you need to, ready to go. All you have to do is hit new and enjoy yourself. If you want to see what we did add, it's called the Wine Fix. So it fixes a ton of bugs. And this is something you're going to want, okay, more than anything. All right, we're going to move on, and we're going to set up DaVinci's Resolve Studio now. DaVinci's Resolve Studio is a Hollywood-level video editor. It supports so much, but it has some limitations. First thing, if you're one of those people that use AAC audio, you will have to adapt your OBS recording to meet PCM audio instead, which is a far better codec and far more universally used throughout the world. Because, well, PCM audio runs on literally everything that has audio, and it's not proprietary. It's not something you have to pay for. It's not something you have to license. This is one of those misinformation things that people coming from Windows to Linux that quit and run back to Linux like to say, it doesn't support AAC audio and I refuse to change my ways. Instead of just grabbing a plugin that automatically deals with AAC audio. There's a bunch of them, in fact. And I might do a video on those, but again, I don't want to have to go back to a substandard worse workflow just to make a video. It doesn't feel right. So I'm going to hit free download and I'm going to grab 21. You can grab 20. I'm grabbing 21. Download only, and it will automatically start up there. Once the download's complete, we are going to continue. Yeah, I totally forgot what I was doing. Holy crap. We're installing DaVinci's Resolve Studio. Okay. There was a video about these women that were approaching a mother bear and her cubs. Yeah. And, no thank you. All right, so heading to downloads, let me just get rid of these. I don't need you, I don't need you, I don't need you, or you, or you, or any of you. We're gonna extract. It might take a couple of seconds or minutes depending on how fast your NVMe is, if you have an NVMe. Now, this is for people on CachyOS and Arch Linux, mostly, because this is what the video is about. If you right click, go to properties, make sure it's executable. If you just run it, most of the time it will just run, unless we're missing a dependency, which we are. So I'm going to bring this over here, sudo Hyprland-is, and we're going to install fuse. Now once the fuse is installed, come back over and run it. And just install it like a normal application. Enter your password. Once your secure password that's totally not the letter A has been entered, you should be good to go for the installation. Oh, and it will ask you for your password again. And once that's finished, boom, we're not done yet. Now, what you have to know about DaVinci's Resolve Studio is it's built for an outdated distro that's called Rocky Linux. And it's very unfortunate that they choose that, but there you go. So we're going to have to do this command right here and pause to be able to type it out, or better yet, look in the description. If it's not there, remind me in a comment, okay? Because I tend to be very forgetful. So entering this command is going to move the outdated dependencies into a folder that is called disabled libraries. So it doesn't delete them, it moves them, in case you ever want to, for some reason, put them back and make sure DaVinci's Resolve does not work. Well, that's completely up to you. Now, after that, all you have to do is go and start it up. As you can see, it's right here. And I'm going to put that before this. We're going to click it, continue. And I just, skip ahead and boot it up right away. Now, if this doesn't work for you, remember, this doesn't always work for everyone. AMD GPU users are going to have a time and a half trying to get this to work. I'm not sure if there's anything in place automatically for CachyOS to make these things work. I don't know if you still need a plugin or not. I'm going to try to get Finley to make a video about setting this up for himself as an AMD user on Linux for content creation. But for Nvidia users, everything's kind of just going to work out of the box, which is nice. So you don't really ever have to worry. So you can pretty much just throw in any clip that you want and you're good to go. Now, as I don't really have any clips that I can throw in due to the fact that we're still recording, we're just going to go to delivery and we're going to go make sure this works. H.265, Nvidia. Yep, it's flawless. It will work great. So, Affinity's done, and so is Resolve. But what about OBS? Oh my. OBS is, I guess, the main issue that I have to cover. Now, what you're looking at is my OBS. And if I go into settings, I go into output, I go into recording, I want to show you my settings, but I kind of can't because, again, it's a Flatpak. So I guess that's where we should start, as a Flatpak. So Flatpak install OBS. Now, if you get this list, you'd be very thankful. The one we're looking for is OBS stable, which would be 22. But you can also just do com.obsproject.S studio. Okay, so basically, if I just do this, you could do this and it will directly install everything. And once that's done, you can actually do Flatpak run. I'm going to do this because I need a secondary one popped up so that I can show you the setup and everything, okay? All right, so here we go. I go into settings, output, change this from advanced, from simple to advanced. And as you can see, the first thing that I changed was the audio encoder. You do not want AAC audio. Use PCM, 24-bit, 16-bit, 32-bit, it doesn't matter. I use 32-bit because my device is compatible with 32-bit. And then we have NVENC. This is for my Nvidia card. It allows me to have the best visuals possible with the lowest amount of space used, okay? And this is very, very important for me. Now, if you use multiple audio tracks like you're recording gameplay, make sure they're set. This is my setup. This might not work for you. I have a 5070 Ti, so what happens is I have two NVENC chips that allow me to record at the highest, best quality, ultra high quality, along with 2 passes of full resolution and more to make this thing look as good as possible. I record in 25K. You set what you need to set, okay? And I also put my video clips in a separate folder. Streaming is a whole nother thing. I stream on YouTube. So I connect my account, I ignore streaming services, I go to stream, actually output, and I select my NVENC encoder. Once again, AV1, 25K bitrate, slow good, ultra low latency, single pass, and auto and split encode set to auto. So we use the second NVENC chip if it wants. For video, I set 1440p, 1440p, and 60. And that's it. Well, I guess not really. If you go into audio, you can set desktop audio. You can set a secondary audio controller for music if you're a streamer. And as you can see, I did that. It's called music. So this is where I'll be routing another audio input into here so the users can hear their own music. I can have my own music. Then I can have a separate one for desktop audio. And then I have my main microphone set. If I wanted to, I can plug in my secondary microphone, and I can also have that all hooked up and ready to go. In fact, I can have 2 XLR microphones at once. So if I wanted to, I can totally do that. But I'm going to set this to disabled for now. There you go. Now, what do? You right-click, you add screen capture pipe wire, and you're pretty much off to the races. You're recording. So if you ever want to start a stream, let me just quit this. You would have this, Manage Broadcast. Hopefully that helps. So now that everything is set up, OBS, DaVinci's Resolve, and Affinity, that should be it. Anything else needs to be left up to you. I hope this video helped you. I hope this was straightforward. I hope, I gave as much information as I possibly could. And I will see you next time. I hope you end up appreciating this video. Again, if you do, subscribing is the thing that helps the most. Also sharing the videos. And if you want to donate to the channel, check the description, become a YouTube member. All these things end up helping more than you will ever know. Bye, everybody.